So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom and time for another Rambles of a Fool, where we take a look at what's going on in the world of tanks. So interesting stuff happening. We've got some early insight into the upcoming Polish tech tree, also the Polish premium tier 8 tank. Also insight into those missing two Russian tier 10 tech tree tanks. So there's a medium missing and there's also a heavy missing. So we've got some views of what that may look like, and some of the super test figures for those tanks. Also more bans, so lots more besides. So let's hop on in and see what we can discuss. So we've got a couple of holes in the tech trees for tier 10 Soviet tanks. A medium tank which follows the 430 version 2, and a heavy tank which follows the T10, I think, and it looks like they're starting to be super tested, so they will not be coming in the next patch, which is probably very shortly coming up, but these tanks will be super tested, then presumably, what are you talking about, Dom? They will probably be on the test server, and then introduce probably a patch or two further down the line. So this is the K91, which is the new Soviet tier 10 medium tank. Remember, all the stats are subject to change because this is still in super test. This will follow the Object 430 version 2, I think it is. 1,800 hit points, hull armor of 140, 60, 45, turret of 220 and very rounded, 140, 160. So it's a rear mounted turret, so very good for side scraping, and that turret is quite good. View range 410. Wow, wowzer. Top speed 55, penetration with the gun, stand around 276 is very nice indeed. 330 with the premium rounds and 320 average damage. Dispersion 0.33, an aim time of 1.9, very nice indeed. So it'd be a fast vehicle with great targeting parameters such as 1.9 second aim time. The gun accuracy and shell velocity 17 meters per second will allow this vehicle to snipe from long distances, and with its 276 millimeters penetration on APCR will make this extremely effective, because APCR doesn't lose effectiveness over distance. No, doesn't lose its speed over distance, that's right. Has weak armor and limited gun depression. Well, it is a rear mounted turret, only -5 degrees, and limited turret traverse. So okay, so it does not traverse fully, which is interesting. Quite a nice looking tank. I guess if you like that sort of playstyle, as they say here, an ambusher and fire support distance with good camo, with very good view range, it's going to be an interesting tank to come up against at tier 10. The tier 10 heavy tank is the Object 277. Now there was a lot of speculation about another Object 777, I think, that has been play tested for a while, that might come in at tier 10, but nope, it appears to be this Object 277, which is a natural successor to the T10, because it is, much like the T10, a fast moving heavy tank with armor. So this thing, 2,200 hit points, hull armor is only 140, 112, 50, but the turret's rather nice. 290, 224 and 80, so very good turret armor. View range is 400, which isn't bad for Russian heavies. Top speed 55 is excellent for a heavy tank. Penetration 265 and 350 with premium, and a whopping great 490 slug of average damage. 0.35 dispersion, aim time of 2.5, aim time 11.5. So yeah, interesting. Combines mobility with protection. Okay, so if you're used to the T10 with its fairly weak hull armor, this is going to fit very much in the styling, and that's that's kind of what this whole revision of the tech tree was all about. Was they wanted tanks that naturally followed each other at the higher tiers. So the IS-7 didn't really follow from the T10, which is why they've removed it and swapped the line around. But this thing, the Object 277, does appear that this will at least look very strong and will match up well with the T10. So there we go. The armour isn't the strongest, but strong enough to deal with most enemy tanks. Its hull armour will be 140 thick. We talked about that. But increased due to the 60 to 70 degree slope on the glacier, and 138 to 170 with a 45 to 55 degree angle on the lower plate. So that's quite excellent. Quite excellent, and it's quite a pretty tank. I like the sleekness of it as well, and that turret armor is very, very good indeed. So to play like a heavy medium hybrid, which I love that kind of play style. That's one of my favorites. But gun depression again pretty weak, only -5.5 degrees. So you're going to have trouble taking advantage of that excellent excellent turret with this tank. But anyways, we know all these things are subject to change. We'll have to see what we get when they hit the test server. So we've only just got the Italian tanks and details of them coming in the next patch 1.01, but also the Polish tanks, which many of us expected to see before the Italians anyway, but they're starting to appear, starting to see some stats. This is the Daily Bounce, excellent blog. Get over there and check out Harkonnen's work, really, really good. And he had an insider on Wargaming Staff who apparently leaked him some information about the upcoming Polish tech tree. Now obviously it's all subject to change because this hasn't even hit the test server, hasn't even gone to super test yet, but it appears that this will be another one of these hodgepodge lines. It will start as a light tank, go medium, then go heavy, which is slightly annoying, because you have to keep swapping and changing your tank crews from one class to another. And it's fine if you were a gold user and you use that gold just to retrain your crew each time, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're not, you get such a whack from changing from class of tanks to rebuild the crew levels each time. So I really don't like the way Wargaming do that. So tiers 2 to 4 will be light tanks. Tiers 1 to 4 will be light tanks. It starts off with this 4 TP light tank, goes through a number of British type tanks, the Vickers, etc., up to tier 5, which will become medium. So 5, 6 and 7 are medium tanks, and all the mid to higher tier tanks are influenced by German and Soviet designs of slopey armor. And then the 8s, 9s and 10s are all heavy tanks, which are all fake tanks, never existed. They said apparently they will be highly dynamic with unique weapons. Don't know what that means, but it'll be very interesting to find out. So also they will be introducing a tier 8 premium heavy tank. Well, there's a surprise, which is a prototype from the early 50s. More details to follow. So looks like we'll get good warning of when the new patch comes and these tanks come into the game. I did read somewhere that it speculated it will be later this year, sort of back end of the year, around about the time of Polish Independence Day, which I forget exactly when it is, but seem to remember September time maybe. So I would imagine, true to form, Wargaming will probably release the premium tank in advance, and then the actual tech tree will come in the patch itself. So interesting. Let me know what you think. Excited about the Poles into the game, or really don't give a squash head? And we're seeing early details. These are obviously super test details of the first Polish premium tank. This is going to be the tier 8 premium tank, which will presumably predate the actual tech tree, which will be sometime later this year, not entirely sure when. So this is a tier 8 heavy tank, and I guess it's interesting in a way. It is the Project 51 CZOLGWZ51. Oh my god, what are we gonna call this thing? Now it seems like there's a lot of similarities on this tech tree for the Polish between German and Russian, and I guess that makes sense given the sort of time period we're talking about, through, well, beginning of the Second World War, through the Second World War, and into the Cold War period, early Cold War period anyway, that they would have that kind of similarity. So this is a tier 8 heavy tank, 1,550 hit points, which is pretty good. Armor wise, hull is 170, 90, 80. It's difficult to see from this picture, but it looks like the frontal plate could be quite big, quite good. The tracks look enormous, so they'll probably eat a lot of shells. Could be a good side scraping tank for that reason. Turret armor is very, very good. 210 on the front, 150 on the side, and 100 on the rear. And again, judging by that picture, it looks like this very, very rounded. So potentially a lot of frontal armor. 28 degrees per second turret traverses, and it's okay actually, I suppose, for a heavy. Hull traverse 38 degrees per second. View range is 380, which is fairly standard now. Top speed is only 35, so it's not exactly a speedster, this thing. So fairly slow. Obviously you don't know what the ground resistances are like yet, which make a big difference on your speed. But 35 is slowish for a heavy tank these days. But the gun looks very, very good. Don't know what caliber gun it is. It doesn't tell us, does it? No. But it's going to be about 120mm, I would think. Penetration, excellent. 280 with standard rounds. That's very good. 218. Wow. It doesn't go up much more with a skill round. 245 and 68 with HE. So it looks like the standard round is quite viable on this. It's a tier 8 tank, remember. 440 average damage is also very pokey. Accuracy 0.36, so you'll probably get that down to 0.32 maybe, with decent crew and some whatever vertical stabs or gun lane drive, depending on what it can carry, and vents maybe. Aim time of 2.5 is very good, and 13.9 second reload. So looks to have pretty good turret, very good penetration, but very sluggish. So a proper heavy maybe? We shall have to see when we get a bit more stats on it, but intriguing. But is it really anything different to what we've got in the game already? Or is it just a bit more samey to keep the Polish community happy? Decide in the chats down below. So actually I managed to find some alternative pictures of this premium tank. Looks quite sleek actually. Those tracks are enormous. Now depending if there's any hitboxes behind here, this could be a really good side scraper. Really good. Very, very low silhouette as well. Very low silhouette. It's got a log. Hang on, let's go back and look. It's got a log on the back. Oh, it's going to be outstanding then. And that front plate looks very right. It looks like a sort of combination of a Russian tank with British tracks on it, doesn't it? That frontal plate. That's quite a high. It's almost like a IS-3 type beak, really, almost. Not quite as pronounced. Yeah, definite British influence and definite Russian influence. Not the German influence I was expecting, but maybe that's in other tanks in the line. So there you go. Anyway, pretty pictures to look at. So, as Harkonnen says here on Daily Bounce, it looks like the new patch 1.0.1 is almost here. Only a few days left on the common test server. He's speculating that the new server should go live, or the live server should go live end of the month, and possibly even before the end of this week. So we shall see, but the last update on the test server was the Italian crew members had a workover, so now you've got all the Italian looking faces, 21 men and 23 women to choose from. There's a motley bunch here, but there's a couple of lookers. Anyway, oh, I hope my wife doesn't watch this. Anyway, it's up there in the test server, so it means that the live server is probably not far off. So excited. don't know really, I'm not so excited by the Italians as I once was. I will work the line obviously because I'm addicted, but whether I'm so excited about them anymore, I don't know. I was a bit disappointed. I was hoping for something a bit special, and they didn't really seem to be that special on the test server, but it is what it is. So if you haven't quite had the money yet, or haven't got round to buying the Brighetto and you intend to, and you've been working your way through the various missions, some people might be asking when you have until to buy the tank with the discounts you earned, because remember, every stage of the Brighetto missions you get 10% off that bundle cost, which was what, 50 quid or something, 55 quid or something. So if you did like I did, managed to get 4 stages done, because I was away for a whole week, more than a week of that period, but still managed to get 4 done. That got me 40% off getting the Brighetto. But so the marathon's just about come to an end, or about to come to an end any minute now when you're watching this video, and according to the senior community manager Phelan, you have up to 3 days after the mission's finished to buy the tank if you so wish. Whether or not it will ever appear again, I don't know. It almost certainly will. Wargaming can never resist selling things. However, they have got previous, if you like, on things that were sold as a bundle. They tend only to sell them as a bundle moving forward. So I'm not influencing people to buy when they haven't got the money for it, and certainly it's a lot of money. But if you are seriously thinking about the Brighetto, don't count on the fact that it becomes sold as a single tank, because I think you'll be unlikely to be the case. You never know. You never know. But and I've got no insight into that at all. But just knowing what they did with this, the T44-100 was a package, and that's only been sold as a package. There was another tank that was produced as a package, and it's only ever sold as a package. So it could well be that this thing is only ever sold as a package. We shall have to see. So look at this, Wargamer up to their old tricks again. So I can't remember, they did this with something else as well, didn't they? Somebody will remind me in the chat, I'm sure. Early access to the Lozers M4A2 Sherman. So, Commander, thank you for your loyalty and passion for World of Tanks. As a premium account user, you have the chance to purchase the Lozers M4A2 Sherman before anybody else. And yes, you'll have early access to it in the premium shop, and it's not available to the general public yet. Well, that's jolly decent of them, isn't it? I can buy a premium tank, which by all accounts is pretty shockingly crap, for £13. Yay, a tier 6 premium tank. 13. Yeah, no, we're not going to bother with that. But thanks anyway, Wargaming. But interesting, I guess, that they're trying to encourage some loyalty amongst those of us who've spent far too much money with the game. Anybody else bought it yet? I'm sure there's some out there that have. So a little plug for my own channel once again. Well, if I can't do it, nobody will. Actually, they are doing it, and that's the point. So if you check out the Daily Bounce, there's a story here about the players, from the players to the players giveaway. So this is a project which was started by one of a small-scale streamer called Zander. Nice guy, does some fabulous videos. Check out his work, and also streams far better content than I will ever do, because he's a damn good player. But he started this project which sort of has the approval of World of Tanks community, which is great. And it is the theory is to promote smaller channels, and I was fortunate enough to be included on this promotion. So I have seen my subscriber base go absolutely through the roof in the last few days, which is very, very exciting and slightly scary. So welcome to the new people on board. If you are watching this, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mostly the natives are friendly, apart from Black Sun. He's just dangerous, so watch out for him. But everyone else, no, seriously, they're all good fun, and hopefully you'll contribute to the chat. We have a very active chat community, and I really look forward to hearing some comments or seeing some comments from you guys. And if I ever get my arse in gear and start streaming again, you're very welcome to join that. So anyway, for the players to the players is basically so it's a promotion, and what he's done is he's set up a giveaway effectively. So the giveaway, and it works on all regions, although we're still waiting for the Southeast Asian one. But here you go, this is the EU one. You can win a Scorpion G or a Lorraine 40 or an S1 or 2 lots of 30 days of premium by subscribing basically to a number of people, including, here we go, Gamer Dom, here we go. So there's 5 streamers and 5 YouTubers here, and by registering you get number of inputs into the draw, number of entries into the draws. You have 19 days. Well, I'm videoing this on Tuesday, so you've got probably slightly less than that, 16 days to enter this. If you follow me and other streamers, you get 1 vote. Well, actually I think you get 5 votes, to be honest. And then it all goes into the pile, and hopefully you're lucky and you win the goodies. And hopefully at the process I get a whole load of new subscribers, as do the other people who actually check out my videos and hang around for a bit longer. So I hope so. And as I say, welcome to those who have tried me out, so to speak. That sounds a bit rude. And you enjoy what you see. If you do, then you're very, very welcome. If you don't, then thanks for at least looking. Oh, but get over to Harkonnen's blog, go over to the Daily Bounce and enter if you haven't already done so, because there's some pretty good prizes there. A couple of, well, 3 tier 8 premiums and some premium days. What's the bonus for North America? Oh, there you go. For North America, you've got the Patriots, you've got Scorpion G, Lorraine 40 and the S1, and 2 lots of 30-day premiums. So good things to win. So Wargaming's continued battle against illegal mods and cheaters continues. Yet another round of bans. This time 21,500 accounts in Russia have had their first offence warning, 7-day ban, and it's 7,245 were banned permanently. EU server 4,055 first offences, and wait for it, 666, the number of the beast, got perma banned. North American server only 722, because you're all good people there in North American server. 146 were perma banned, and nothing yet on Southeast Asia. I mean, it's continuing, and you know, funny enough, I saw a comment about this on one of the many Facebook pages associated with this game that I'm on. God, that's some trash on those pages. You should I do that for you guys just so I can find out what's going on, but there is an absolute trash that goes up on those sites. But anyway, somebody was commenting, well, you know, you should only download mods from the approved World of Tanks hub then, because somebody was complaining they'd got banned and they didn't realise that something they were using was illegal. The only problem with that is if you go on the hub, there are illegal mods on there too. That's what's so stupid about that hub. The hub was a great idea to bring a place where you bring all the mods together in one place, and you know, theoretically you would have thought, much like an Apple store, you go to the Apple store, not the physical store, the app store, all the apps that they have there have been checked, which is why they're generally more secure than if you go to an Android app store, because there they are not. But it takes time and it's hassle, and somebody has to go through them and manage them and everything else. So clearly at Wargaming they can't be bothered with that, because I have heard of several cases and seen it reported on Facebook pages and elsewhere where people have in good faith gone to that Wargaming portal and downloaded a mod pack and installed the wrong sub bit on them, because most of these packs have multiple options within them, and downloaded something which is illegal, and got banned for it. And you know, it's kind of those sort of unlucky souls that really this policy is not there to get. It's for the willful ones who continually use them, and seem to think that they can just get away with it with impunity. They're the ones that really should be going after big styly. You know who you are out there. I'm not going to mention names, but I know a couple of people who do it, and that is not good, and it shouldn't be allowed. And I still completely don't understand the mentality. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I'm too old for these things. But to me, I like a mod because it helps me in my geriatric state to help with certain things that I might not otherwise be able to do. But I do not understand a mod that makes it impossible for you to miss, or impossible for you to not know where an enemy tank is, or in some cases makes your tank invisible, which I've heard exists. All these things. What is the point of those things? Because where's the fun in the game anymore? If you're impregnable or you're invincible, and you just every time you play a game you rack up 20,000 damage, 10,000 damage, and you destroy everything else, surely the fun goes out of the game, doesn't it? Maybe it's just me, but to me that just, I don't understand the mentality of it. I really don't. I just do not get the mentality of people who just cheat for cheating's sake. The people who misunderstand and upload things that they shouldn't have done, I have a little bit more sympathy for. But so I don't suppose I'm the only one, certainly not, judging by this story on mmowg.net, about this huge amount of spam messaging you're getting in game at the moment, from accounts that have obviously just been set up and are purely there to try and encourage people to go to some website to supposedly get free credits and what have you, for World of Tanks. That is spam. Do not be tempted by it. I know none of you guys are stupid enough to do that, but don't be tempted by it. It's a scam. Whatever it is, it's a scam. But there was a post up on the forum about this saying, it's getting really annoying, and are you going to do anything about it? Now, Wargaming do actually seem to be aware of it. The response was, thanks for pointing it out. We're already aware of the problem and working on it. Unfortunately, the nature of this issue doesn't allow us to communicate too much about it, as I'm sure you're aware. It could be used to avoid our safeties again. Don't know what that means. Rest assured we're doing something about it. So that's all I want to hear, because it's a pain in the arse when you log into the game and there's 2, 3, 4 of these stupid messages, and you blacklist them, but you come back in the next day and there's 2, 3, 4 more sitting there, so that's clearly not stopping them. So anyway, they seem to be on the case. Maybe by next year we'll have resolved that. So thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting and useful. As ever, please, any comments, chip away down in the comments section. We always have a good exchange of views on the latest news and some of the things that have come up at this week, so look forward to seeing those as ever. In the meantime, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously, and I will see you again soon. This is GamerDom signing out.